intersection.
I didn't even see her.
I didn't even see him. Then it was too late.
When you're walking,
When you're driving, look for me.
Drivers, look for pedestrians. Pedestrians, look for drivers. Sponsored by NMDOT and aired in cooperation with the NMBA and this station.
Today's forecast is calling for mostly sunny skies, mostly clear tonight, slight chance of mountain rain showers in Alamogordo, high of 92, low of 64, Cloudcroft, high of 74, and an overnight low of 46. For tomorrow, continue mostly sunny skies, slight chance of rain in Alamogordo tomorrow, high of 90, low of 63, Cloudcroft tomorrow, high of 72, overnight low of 49.
This is the KNMZ Football Roundtable, Season 31. Once again, 5 local business people and a competition picking winners from the best high school, college, and NFL games every week. Manny Gonzalez from Charles Garland and Harris Agency, Donna Columbus of First National Bank, Brandon Burling from Desert Sun Auto Group, Timothy Brock of Christ Community Church, and Jake Roberts of Caldwell Banker Sudderth Nelson. Now, let's get to the picks. ESPN Alamogordo 103.7 will welcome into the KNMZ Football Roundtable. We're on to week 4 of the season. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Friday so far. Don't have any football in the base. We've got, I think, Mescaleros at home tonight against Loving, not Hagerman. Otherwise, Thule and Alamogordo both on the road. Cloudcroft played last night. They beat Cuesta 56-6, so they're 3-1 on the season now. I think they're at home next week when they take on Hagerman. So got the whole crew here with us. We do have a couple of fill-ins, and we'll mention them here in a second. We'll start off with Manny Gonzalez, Charles Garland Harris Agency.
Good morning to the beautiful Tularosa Valley and Greater Alamogordo Holloman Metroplex. Good morning.
Richard Kaler from First National Bank filling in for Brian, who's filling in for Donna.
So we're digging deep in the bullpen here, and just what Manny said also.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. All right, Justin Ligon. Did I say it right? Ligon. Okay, I knew I had it wrong as soon as I looked at it.
No worries.
Justin Ligon filling in for Brandon Burling at Desert Sun Motors. What's up? How you doing, Justin?
Doing good.
All right, fellow Colts fan, so he'll talk that up.
Try not to mess us up too bad for Brandon.
All right, scoot up there a little bit closer on the mic there for Justin.
Don't worry, we can suggest all the picks for Brandon. We'll help you out.
Right.
Tim Brock from Christ Community Church. Tim, what's up, buddy?
Guys, it's always a pleasure to be here on a Friday with the hot air balloons in flight. It feels like fall in Alamogordo.
Were they out there this morning?
Yeah.
Okay, I
everywhere.
didn't see them. I guess I was busy doing stuff here in the station. I didn't go and look outside, so.
No, you missed out.
I did.
Yeah.
That's okay. They've got that Saturday out at
Officially tomorrow it starts, right?
Yeah. I think that's like their advertising. They throw it out there, and people get to see the balloons, and then Saturday is the big mass ascension out there at White Sands. So, Jake Roberts from Caldwell Banker Sudderth Nelson. Oof, I'm having a morning.
It's not Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, no.
We'll never wear khakis again. They've ruined that for me.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here, and looking forward to throwing some picks around.
All right, we'll start off with Alamogordo going to Santa Teresa tonight. Now, Manny, before we started the show, wanted to go back to the game against Ruidoso last week. The halftime, Ruidoso had 36 on the board at halftime. So, I mean, it was high scoring in the first half. I want to say it was like 36-20 at half. It was just back and forth. Neither defense really played particularly well last week. Alamo's offense did some good things, turnovers on both sides. Alamo picked up an interception to return it for a touchdown to make it a 57-54 game with about 5 minutes left, and then Ruidoso was able to run out the clock the rest of the way. So Alamo obviously would have liked a different story there from that. Ruidoso's a good team, but we're starting to see improvement from Alamogordo. I think that's the positive that you can look at from that group. The offense played, I think, as well as they have since Coach Cisco's come in. Good things, but obviously at the end of the day, it's not a win, so that's gonna not make Coach Cisco and the guys happy. So, and last week also hurt. Brett Money got hurt. I think during warm-ups for the game, so that hurt not having the kicker. They had to go for 2-point conversions the entire game. Now they did some tryouts this week, and I don't think Brett's going to be back this week, so they're I think they're going with Max Merrill, who's a tight end and a defensive end that's going to be kicking this week. So they'll try to go with extra points this week instead of 2-point conversions every time out. Manny?
Well, Alamogordo is going into Santa Teresa to play the Desert Warriors, who are 3-0. Desert Warriors have put up 109 points and only given up 20 points. So they got it going on. But I think Alamogordo, I was impressed with the improvement we saw last week. I wasn't there, but Charles, as always, you did a great job on the call. And we followed along real quick, carefully on the radio. I'm going to go with Alamogordo. I just want to encourage the kids. I have a sense that after this week, they get to put the decals on the helmet. I'm going Tigers on the road.
All right, Richard?
You know, I was third stringer here and looking at, I don't know if this is Brian's or Donna's pick or Donna's pick via Brian. I really don't know, but they picked Santa Teresa. But I'm going to go with Manny, and I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to go with Alamogordo. I don't know. I just have the same feeling Manny does. I think maybe they're starting to understand and figure some things out a little bit. So I'm with Manny. Let's support our home kids and pull for them.
Okay, Justin?
Yeah, as much as I want to agree with these guys, I'm gonna take the latter. I'm gonna go with Santa Teresa at home.
All right, Tim.
Yeah, I'm kind of. Believe it or not, I think I'm with our boys there because, you know, they had a good showing against Los Lunas, who's a really good team. Ruidoso's defending state champs are a good team at home. Santa Teresa hasn't beat anybody, so don't let their 3-0 record impress you too much. They've played some pretty sub-quality teams, so I'm gonna go out on a limb with these guys and go with Alamogordo on the road.
Jake.
Yeah, I can't do that. I really can't. Alamo's just given up too many points. Santa Teresa does have 250 rushing yards, which is nearly triple that of the Tigers over the last couple games. Being that their number one offensive weapon, the kicker, has gone down, I feel like Alamogordo is going to struggle in this one. They're going to probably need a week or two to figure out, what to do with these injuries.
Here's the thing. I think Santa Teresa, they don't have the same quarterback they had last year. Different kid in there, but they're big up front. Santa Teresa's shown massive improvement. You go back 2 or 3 years, and this is a team that won 1 or 2 games a year, and now, they start off 3-0. And the teams they played early in the season, Anthony and Gadsden, and I can't remember who the first week opponent was, but Tim's right. They haven't played a lot of quality opponents yet this year, but the question for me with the Tigers is their ability to, finally get over the hump and be able to prove that they can win a football game. I do think this is a toss-up. I don't think that Santa Teresa is certainly not the quality of Los Lunas. They may not be the quality of Valencia, and I don't think they're as good as Ruidoso is. But I will say I do think they're better than Alamogordo right now. But you know what? I'll go with you guys. I'll go Tigers on this. I think that they've got a chance at winning this game tonight. They've got to play solid. If they take a step back tonight, Santa Teresa will be all over them. So this is not a team that they can in any way take lightly. But I can't imagine Alamogordo at this point that's ever going to be the case. They want to win, and hopefully there's some confidence coming out of last week and it carries over to this week. So we'll see.
Well said.
But defense has got to be a lot better, and offense, they did some really good things last week. We'll see if they can carry it over. All right, Tularosa, 2-1, heading over to Eunice, who's undefeated in the season, 3-0, and I think they're the number 1 team in Class 3A right now.
2A.
Yeah, they're 2A.
Are they 2A? Okay,
Yep.
So they're actually the classification below, so my apologies. Eunice is... They had been in Tularosa's classification for a long time, so this is...
District rivals.
Yeah. Yeah, they were in that Dexter, Eunice, Loving district there for quite a while, so definitely switches things up there a little bit. But Eunice, I guarantee you they could still be very competitive at the same classification Tularosa is right now, and it'll be an interesting matchup tonight. Eunice beat Hatch last week 25-9. Thule with the 36-24 win over Lordsburg last week. So this will be a fun one to watch. I think toss-up game in my mind. Richard?
I'm gonna take Thule.
Okay.
Yep.
On the road. Justin?
I am going to take Tularosa as well. They're on a roll right now.
Tim?
Yeah, Eunice and Thule are big rivals, so it's kind of a renewed rivalry, even though they're out of district now. I'm like you, Charles. When I was looking at it this morning, I thought, Eunice, where are they? I don't see them in 3A. And then I went up to 4A, and I was like, no, they're on 4A. There's no way they're 2A. They are 2A.
Yeah.
So they got a really good quarterback over in Eunice, Mason Caperton. He's throwing 220 yards a game. Thule's more of a run game. Marcus Barraza, 100 yards per game. So one of those two styles is going to prevail. I'm gonna go with Eunice at home. It's a long road trip. I'm going to pick Eunice.
Yeah, and the question is, I think Marcus got hurt in the game against Lordsburg because I know that I saw a picture online that they were holding up his helmet after the game, and he didn't have the normal amount of carries that we normally see. So Trayton Griffin had a great game, but we'll see what if he's playing, if that's going to be an impact for Tularosa or not. Jake?
I'm going to go with Tim on this one, and just like you guys said, this was a really tough game to kind of look at. I was playing around, and both the defenses looked very, very similar. They were kind of swapping back tackles and sacks, but other than that, their numbers were really, really close. Tularosa is out-rushing Eunice by about 75 yards, but Eunice has about another 150 passing yards. So in this case, I'm going to go with the home team. It is a bit of a long road trip. The defense is going to be even, and so we'll take Eunice at home.
I think at home, I think the road trip, I think that's what gets me. And Eunice can clearly compete against Tularosa. We've seen it in the last couple of years, and Eunice was in the state title game against Capitan in 3A last year, so against similar competition. So I don't think they may be 2A now, but that doesn't change the mentality of what the Cardinals have been the last couple of years. So I'm going to go Eunice. Manny?
I'm going Tularosa Wildcats on the road. It'll be a tough road trip. They're going to have to harden their hearts and play error-free football, but Tularosa, I think, is bigger and stronger. I'm going Wildcats.
All right. Big Class 5A matchup as Roswell faces off against Los Lunas. Los Lunas is the number 1 team in Class 5A. Roswell down at number 5. They lost to Hobbs last week, which not Los Lunas, I was saying Artesia, but I was confused there. Anyway, Roswell lost to Hobbs last week. Los Lunas beat Sandia last week, and we've seen Los Lunas, we've seen the quality that they are. We'll get to see Roswell coming up later in the season, so we'll see what happens. I feel like this is, a pretty even matchup and really an opportunity for the Coyotes to go up to Los Lunas and score a big win. Justin, who you like?
Absolutely, Los Lunas.
Okay, going with Los Lunas Tigers. Tim?
I'm going to go with Los Lunas, but I don't have a whole lot of confidence in that pick. I just Roswell's, like you said, they lost to a good team last week, so they may be better than we think they are, but I'm going to pick the Tigers.
All right, Jake?
Los Lunas has only given up about 28 points after 3 games. I'm going to take defense again at home. Los Lunas.
I think at home is the difference for me for Los Lunas, but I certainly believe that Roswell is more than capable of winning this game. But we saw Los Lunas, Nick Garland, and what he can do, and that defense and the size that they have. I don't think there's really going to be any mismatch there for Los Lunas in this game. Just going to be execution. And at home, I think the Tigers will make it happen. Manny?
Roswell's put up 76 points, given up 56 points. The Los Lunas Tigers have put up 83 points, given up 28 points. I'm counting on the Los Lunas Tigers breaking the Roswell Coyotes' little hearts.
Richard, follow if you dare.
Yeah, what Manny said.
Okay. He's going to go with Los Lunas as well.
I'm Los Lunas. I think if the game was in Roswell, I'd probably take Roswell, but it's home game for Los Lunas, so I think they'll be okay.
All right. Huge game for both of these teams. They're both sitting at 1-2. Las Cruces High and Rio Rancho. Cruces had a rough weekend last weekend at La Cueva, lost 45-3. Rio Rancho went out to Clovis and beat them 20-13. And Rio Rancho's played a tough schedule to start the season. Played a school from Colorado Springs a couple weeks ago, and I think was it Centennial to open up the season? I can't remember who that first week was, but they've played good opponents. So has Las Cruces, though. I mean, you figure their losses are to La Cueva and El Dorado, and they've got a win over Manzano. So back up to the Albuquerque area for them this week, and I don't know. This is a tough one to try and figure. You got teams with even records, teams that both need a win. See who's a little bit more desperate, I guess, Tim.
Yeah, one of these teams is going to be 1-3, which I would have lost a lot of money if you had asked me that a month ago to bet on that. So, man, I know a lot more about Las Cruces than I know about Rio Rancho. I just can't imagine Las Cruces, the Bulldogs in football, going to 1-3, so I'm going to pick them.
Jake?
Actually, I'm sitting here looking at my notes, and now I may be a little confused at my pick. That's never a good
picked a tie.
I don't even have notes, and I get confused in my picks sometimes. So.
No, on this one, I did have myself taking the home team. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Rams. Their offense is a little sluggish. They've only put up about 57 points over the last 3 games, but I'd still like to see what they do at home. So.
Yeah, it's just and you wonder with Las Cruces the last couple weeks, giving up the points that they have, and last week they couldn't get their offense going. You wonder what's exactly is going on there with the Bulldogs. I was surprised Rio Rancho went out to Clovis and won that game. I actually thought that the Wildcats would take it, but I'll go Rio Rancho at home. I think it's a toss-up game, and certainly think that Las Cruces can go up there and win, but I'm going to go with the Rams on this. Manny?
Yeah, Las Cruces has lost to El Dorado. They lost big there. And then also lost to La Cueva. So those are two pretty important programs. Man, oh man. Las Cruces has put up only 93 points, given up 128 points. Rio Rancho has only put up 57 points and given up 87. Man, I tell you what, I'm going Bulldogs on the road.
All right. Richard?
Yeah, Brian has Rio Rancho, but listening to Tim and Manny, I have a hard time envisioning Las Cruces going to 1-3 as well, just because.
All right, go.
So I'm going to take Las Cruces on the road.
All right, Justin.
I am going with Las Cruces as well. For no other reason than I graduated there. So
okay, well, there you go.
Let's go Bulldogs.
That's a pretty good reason.
Absolutely.
Better than any of our reasons.
Absolutely.
No doubt about that. Carlsbad, who's undefeated on the season, they had that scoreless tie against Goddard, beat up on Atrisco last week 51-0. They go down to El Paso, take on Coronado. Coronado's 1-1. They beat El Paso El Dorado. That's the two-word El Dorado school, not the one word up in Albuquerque. 30-13, and they had an overtime loss to begin the season. Gosh, I can't remember it was another El Paso school that they lost to. So Coronado is always one of the solid programs in the El Paso area. They very rarely have a bad team, and Carlsbad usually plays one El Paso school a year. This is a little bit up for them. I know they played Americus, I think, the last few years. So not that Americus is bad by any means. So this is. I feel like, again, another coin toss kind of game, maybe edge towards the team that's home a little bit in Coronado. But, Jake, you get first dibs on it. Not an easy pick to make, just like the last game. I think both these were tough calls.
You got some good ones on here this week, Charles. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. This is going to be fun. I'm actually going to take Carlsbad. After 3 games, their defense has held the opponents to about 14 total points, and they're ranked number 11 in the state. The road trip is always a factor, but I think Carlsbad gets it done.
Carlsbad looks great. I mean, they've looked dominant at some points, and the win over Artesia obviously stands out. Would have loved to have seen if they'd got to play the second half against Goddard, how that would have ended up finishing. Give maybe a little bit more of an idea of Goddard as well here early on in the season. So, I'm going to edge towards the bigger city team here in Coronado. I think, again, this is a toss-up kind of game. I'm edging towards the home team on this side just because of that, and everything else from that standpoint. Again, flip of the coin probably be a fair way to put it. Manny?
Carlsbad, the Cavemen have put up 79 points, given up 14 points. The Thunderbirds of El Paso, Coronado have put up 43 points, given up 29 points. I know that these teams in that part of the state love to go into Texas. So this is a fun road trip for the Seabad. So I'm going to go Cavemen on the road.
Richard?
Yeah, Brian and Donna are either going to really love me or hate me. Because I'm changing everything that they've got. They had Coronado.
Take a stand,
here,
Richard. We like it.
But I'm with Manny on this. I think these kids from Carlsbad are going to enjoy this trip into Texas and coming back with a win.
All right, Justin?
I'm going to go with your pick, Charles. I'm going to go with the home team. These Texas teams are tough, and I don't think Carlsbad will hang in there with them.
Okay, going Coronado. Tim?
So the top 6A schools all start with the letter C. This is fun for me. Centennial, I'm going out on Cueva, Cleveland, Carlsbad, Cibola, and Clovis. So it's the year of the season in Mexico, but they're going against the C team in El Paso. I was born in El Paso. I'm going to go with Coronado.
Okay.
All of that made absolutely no sense, but we went with it, right?
Not at all. Yeah, and I think Clovis is playing Monterey out of Lubbock this weekend, so they're playing a Texas school this weekend, and not sure if Hobbs. I know Hobbs usually plays at least one Texas school a year, but I don't know if they're doing it this week or not. Didn't look at their schedule, but again, Mescalero is at home against Loving tonight, so they're actually the one area team that's at home. And we started off the show telling you that Cloudcroft beat Cuesta last night, so they're 3-1 now on the season. Congratulations to the Bears. All right, we'll take a break and we'll come back and pick some college games. We got some good ones to pick this week, and then I realized this morning. I didn't even put the local rivalry game on the picks this week, but oh well, what are you going to do? We'll come back. More of the KNMZ Football Roundtable next here on ESPN Alamogordo.
This is Brandon with Desert Sun. I'm not sure if you all know this, but Desert Sun Auto Group consists of 5 dealerships across the great state of New Mexico. This means we have 5 new car departments with over 500 vehicles to choose from and over 200 quality pre-owned vehicles. Majority of these vehicles, when bought from us, are backed with Desert Sun's lifetime powertrain protection. Stop by either Desert Sun Motors or Desert Sun Toyota today and let us help you find your new ride. See our full inventory at DesertSunMotors.com.
When someone thinks they have a better idea, like a new way to make it or a new place to take it, they start their own business. Every small business has not so small ambitions. We can help you with about every financial service you'll need, like e-statements to save your filing space, mobile banking from your smartphone, lines of credit for expansion, and online account access. To us, there's nothing small about small business. First National Bank, member FDIC. When you grow, we grow.
Hi, I'm Pastor Tim Brock, and I'd like to invite you to Christ Community Church, a place to belong, a place to come together, and a place to leave inspired. We have dynamic worship, engaging and relevant Bible teaching, and excellent ministries for everyone in the family. Our worship services are Sundays at 9 and 11:15. Christ Community Church, where it's about relationship, not religion, and where Jesus Christ is Lord. For more information, find us online at christcommunityalamo.org.
Are you looking to rent or need someone to manage your property? Hi, I'm Jake Roberts with Coldwell Banker, Sudworth Nelson. Did you know that we are the largest property management company in Alamogordo? Whether you are looking for a short-term housing solution or to turn an existing property into a great long-term investment, give us a call at 575-437-1137. Visit our website today at alamogordocoldwellbanker.com or come by and see us at 800 Scenic Drive.
At Charles Garland and Harris Insurance, we are proud of the great high schools in Alamogordo, Cloudcroft, Mescalero, and Tularosa. Our student athletes set a valuable example for everyone to follow. They work hard to succeed in the classroom and in competitive sports and contribute enormous time and energy to bring pride to their schools and community. At Charles Garland and Harris Insurance, as we work hard to protect the families and businesses of Otero County, we proudly take pause to follow our student athletes and extend our best wishes for their success every day in the classroom and on game day.
This is the KNMZ Football Roundtable on ESPN Alamogordo 103.7. Welcome back. Moving on to our college picks for this week. Do want to remind you all that you can listen to tonight's game from Santa Teresa starting at 6:45, 7 o'clock kickoff on 103.7 FM. You can also go to YouTube, search ESPN Alamogordo, and find us there so you can listen to us online as well. So whichever works best for you. All right. We don't have Brandon here, but we do have Justin filling in for him. You're a Colts fan, but you're not are you an OU fan as well?
No.
Okay.
What is
your
more
college
enthusiasm
team?
though?
I don't watch a whole lot of college, but when I do, I like watching Notre Dame.
Okay, there you go. Manny, you're friends with Manny now. So
all right,
there you go. Oklahoma at Iowa State. That's been a tough place for some some ranked Big 12 teams to go into in recent years. So Oklahoma is getting 17.5 in this game. They're 2-0, and they've looked really good here early on in the season. So. Hard to think that anything crazy is going to happen this week. And Iowa State's offense looked really bad last week against Iowa. Maybe Iowa's defense is excellent, but not too good at all. Justin?
Yeah, no, Oklahoma's going to absolutely destroy them.
All right.
Yeah, taking Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think they were a 3-touchdown favorite against FAU, and they had that covered by midway through the first quarter. So,
yep.
Tim?
So the conversation that I've been having internally in my head all week, and as well with anybody who would entertain me in this conversation, is would you rather play quarterback in the NFL or be a starting outfielder in Major League Baseball? Because that's the situation that the quarterback for OU, was it Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray, yeah.
Kyler Murray. What a first world problem he has. But yeah, that's to add a little drama to an otherwise dramaless pick. I'm going to go Oklahoma.
Jake.
Part of the reason why the Cyclones' offense probably looked so bad last week is because of their quarterback, Kyle Kemp, went down with an injury, and he's not even a lock to start this week. If you're going to go against OU, you better bring your A team. The B team definitely won't cut it. I'm going to take OU easy.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma on the road. I will say that has been a place for, and Oklahoma in particular has had some scares or bad games there at Iowa State. So certainly could happen, but I don't think it'll happen this week. I like OU. Manny?
I appreciate all the information. This one, there's always a game. You just wonder, if someone is going to really do something to rock the world. Won't be this one. Oklahoma.
All right. Richard.
Yeah, outfielder in the MLB.
Thank you for entertaining me.
For
yes.
for a career.
Yeah.
But for this Saturday, quarterback at Oklahoma is not a bad gig.
It's true too. Yep.
And I think Oklahoma rolls big time in this. I think before the year's over, Oklahoma's going to be significant.
Yeah, I think so too. Another team hoping to be significant at the end of the year is Notre Dame, 2-0. Didn't have a particularly great performance last week against Ball State, but got the win. And only getting 13.5 at home against Vanderbilt. I kind of would have expected that line to be bigger, but Vandy 2-0 to start the season. They're feeling pretty good about themselves. A lot of gold out there on the fields coming into this week. And Notre Dame 3 straight games at home to begin the season. That's not too bad, Manny.
Yeah, that was a nice arrangement on the schedule. Yeah, Ball State, stubborn defense last week. I was getting a little concerned, but and again, here the Irish are. They play to the level of their opponent, it seems, and I wish they'd get off that and start to whip the cat on some people. It is at Touchdown Jesus, Queen of Heaven, Fighting Irish.
It's the first time Justin's got to experience that. Richard.
Well, what Manny was just talking about, every week there's a game.
And there's an SEC school
and there's an SEC school, and this is the game.
Okay.
Vanderbilt.
All right. I don't think it's a bad... 2 touchdowns at Notre Dame. I think it's a pretty legitimate possibility there. Justin?
I'm going to go with the home team in Notre Dame.
All right. Tim?
Yeah, a lot of the big dogs at ESPN have also picked Vanderbilt as their big upset of the week. So, Richard, I admire your courage. I can't share in that courage. I'm going to let you go this one alone.
Other people call it ignorance.
Well, it's bold. You're either going to be loved or hated. We're going to love you, though.
Brian or Donna, I changed another one for him. So.
Yeah, I'm going to go Notre Dame.
Jake.
Richard, I actually applaud that pick quite a bit because I kind of felt like Vanderbilt wasn't getting any love in this game. Their numbers are really, really close. Their quarterback is putting up last week went 33 for 49, 428 yards with 4 touchdowns. And their running back is 130 yards with 2 touchdowns. So I think this matchup is way closer at home, and some of the predictions were just wildly, wildly in Notre Dame's favor. I feel like this is going to be closer. I am still going with the home team, though. I will be taking Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think, again, you have an SEC team, and Vanderbilt is certainly on the lower, or has been on the lower end of the SEC side. They've had good years every now and then, so certainly there's always that possibility for the upset. I always like picking against Notre Dame. No other reason, just because they're Notre Dame. It's fun to pick against the perennial team. So. But I think at home, I'll go Notre Dame. Vandy.
Oh, come on, Charles. You have no guts.
He just moved into second place. Guts. He doesn't want to jeopardize that.
I do like the name Commodores. I think that's a cool name.
Yeah. I think it's one of those. I don't think Vanderbilt has played anybody, significant. Notre Dame, I at least feel like the win over Michigan, and Michigan may not be very good this year, but
I think they played.
Middle Tennessee and Nevada are the 2 teams that Vandy's played so far.
Yeah,
so.
They beat Middle Tennessee 35. I'm sorry. Yeah, Middle Tennessee 35-7, Nevada 41-10.
Yeah, I like Notre Dame because I think Ball State is probably on par with either Nevada or Middle Tennessee. So I'm going to go Notre Dame at home. I think at home is probably the bigger thing for me. A game that neither Tim nor Richard would like to speak of here. Colorado State taking on Florida. It's 20-point favorite to Florida. Should be mentioned that Colorado State beat Arkansas in Colorado Springs last week, so I don't think Colorado State's an especially good program, but Florida, for the first time in 31 years, lost to Kentucky last week. And
was it 31? I thought it was 36.
Maybe it was 36. It might have been further up the line there, but I think probably even worse that it was in the swamp.
In the swamp.
It just... I don't think anybody can get too mad at Dan Mullen yet. You got to give him some time to try to get things going there, but certainly not ideal to say the least.
I feel like you're taking a lot of joy in this introduction, Charles.
Not really.
A little bit.
I don't really have anything against Florida. I mean, I don't.
Your energy level went from low to pretty high.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of what Florida did last
filling
week.
in. I don't know if Richard's going to be back with us this year. We're going to let him start. We'll get to the other Florida fan here in a second.
No problem.
But Richard,
I don't know. I'm giving Dan Mullen about a quarter and a half when you talk about he has he's got some time. He's got to figure something out there pretty quick. Hopefully they had a good week. I just can't pick against Florida losing in the swamp 2 weeks in a row.
Right.
They've done nothing to show me anything at this point, but I truly bleed orange and blue, so I've got to pick the orange and blue.
All right, Justin.
I think Florida is going to get it done at home. I don't think that they let this happen twice.
I think it's crazy that Colorado State's only a 20-point dog on the road at the Swamp. I mean, normally this would be in the 30s.
It'd be
probably.
a 30 or 40-point game on a normal week.
Yeah, especially a 1-2 Colorado State team coming in. Tim.
I'll tell you what, Florida really need to win this game because you look at their upcoming schedule, SEC tough teams across the board. They may not win again if they don't win this game until they play Idaho the week before Thanksgiving. So
neat.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Florida, but just because of their opponent.
Yeah. They'll make it happen, I think. Jake?
I'm going to take Florida as well. It was a tough to watch last week, no doubt. I mean, Kentucky is a good team, though. They are looking pretty sharp. But Florida's got to find a way to bounce back, and so I think they get it done at home.
I'll go Gators. I can't imagine they're going to lose this game, but still. So I think some credit should also be given to Kentucky. I mean, they clearly
I agree.
are
yeah.
good team, and
that's a program that's been on the slow ascent for a number of years, and you've got to watch out for them.
Being in the SEC East as well. I mean, Georgia obviously is kind of taking control of that, but you never know with some of the other teams that are in there as well. So, Manny?
Yeah, Colorado State lost to Hawaii 43-34, lost to Colorado 45-13, beat Arkansas 34-27.
Now, there's an SEC team that's on the...
and Kentucky, they lost to Florida State, too, 38-22. Man, that's a mystery. But it's in their place. I'm going to go Florida Gators, and I don't think this one's even going to be fun to watch.
All right.
Well, neither was last week.
Yeah. All right, LSU goes to Auburn. Both teams are 2-0. I'm kind of surprised the line is as heavy as it is. 10.5 to Auburn. I thought that would be a bit smaller. Apparently the bettors are not giving LSU a ton of credit here, so kind of an interesting move there. But LSU obviously surprised everybody at the start of the season, beating Miami, and who knows what could happen. They seem to have the quarterback issues figured out there for now at LSU, so that's a positive for them. So we'll see what goes down with this one. Tim, it's SEC. We'll let you start it.
Yeah, no, this will be a good game. I picked LSU earlier in the year to win, and they did. And I think I was one of the only people to do that. But Auburn is one of the greatest enigmas to me in sports because they're the Auburn Tigers, and they go by War Eagle. I'm super confused by that. Two totally different mascots. So Auburn makes my life interesting. I'm going to go with Auburn.
Okay. Jake?
Just like you said, I think the line was a little bigger than I thought it would be, and this is going to be a great SEC West game. This is going to be fantastic. Love both teams, but I'm going to take the War Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to go Auburn at their place. I think at Jordan Hare there I don't think that Auburn will lose at home, but certainly LSU proved earlier this season they're a quality program, and this is going to be It's going to be one of those bare-knuckle brawl kind of games there in the SEC. Then again, maybe not. Both these teams may put up just a ton of points. It's going to be all finesse offense out there this weekend, but I'll go Auburn. Manny?
Yeah, both of these teams have got my attention. LSU defeated Miami 33-17. Auburn defeated Washington 21-16. I was surprised by that. Over and under is 44.5. Auburn is favored by 10.5 in their place. I'm going to be keeping a real close eye on Auburn. I think they're going places. I'm going to go Auburn Tigers.
Richard?
Auburn always lays an egg somewhere.
This is very true.
LSU always beats somebody they're not supposed to beat.
Not a bad pick.
I'm thinking this is another one of those games. I think LSU is going to go into Auburn and take one from them.
Donna would love that pick.
Yes, she would. Justin?
I am going to go with LSU as well.
Okay.
I think I've watched their last couple of games. The defense looks stout. And I think that the line is a little high. I think it's probably going to be an upset.
Okay, there we go. All right, Ohio State headed to Arlington to take on TCU, so it's not a true home game for TCU, but I mean it's kind of just down the road.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the deal. I guarantee you that the mix of fans is probably going to be about half and half.
Well, Ohio State travels no matter where they're playing. You're right. Yeah, but
exactly.
It's like 15 minutes from TCU's campus. So.
Yeah, and I think that the bigger reason is probably to put it in that big of stadium because they know they can sell that many tickets compared to what TCU's home is. So. Ohio State getting 13 on the road in this game. Kind of interesting. This was the one game people kind of looked at because I think Urban Meyer gets to come back after this game. So they wondered if that was going to have any type of an impact. Justin, who do you like?
Ohio State. Okay. They do travel well. It's a powerhouse football team. And I think it's going to be quite a bit more than 13.5. Okay,
there you go. Tim?
Well, I'll be pulling for TCU, but I'm going to pick Ohio State.
Jake?
Yeah, the great thing is I don't think anybody really expected Ohio State to dip, even though Urban Meyer wasn't going to be there, especially because of the teams that they've been playing. I feel like Ohio State has this in the bag, but I do want to shout out to TCU. I love the fact that they're ranked number 15. They're getting some love in the polls. They've always been a good program, so I'm really excited for them, but I do see Ohio State winning this game.
Yeah, TCU's a nice success story in terms of where they were conference-wise 10, 15 years ago, going from Conference USA to I think they were in the WAC at some point, and then went to Mountain West, and then into the Big 12 and became a top program in there. So pretty impressive for their ability to be able to do that. TCU really hasn't played anybody to start the season. Not to say that Ohio State necessarily has gone up against any super tough opponents here to begin the year, but yeah, I'll go Buckeyes. I have a hard time imagining TCU winning this game. Manny?
Yeah, Ohio State beat Rutgers 52-3 and Oregon State 77-31.
Yeah.
So they haven't been tested yet.
Yeah.
No, not really. And but they're ranked 4 in the country. They're favored by 13. Over and under is 59.5. You got to go Buckeyes.
Yeah, a little bit of a put up or shut up game for both teams. I mean, because neither side, I think Southern and I was just looking a second ago TCU, but SMU was the other team that they played. Yeah. So I mean, they really haven't seen anybody yet this year. Richard?
Yeah, I don't think it matters where you would have played this game. There's sell more seats where they're playing it, so that's going to let more Ohio State people into the stadium.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
I think Ohio State rolls big time on this.
All right. TCU's been known to surprise sometimes, especially bowl games when I know there's still a little bit of anger I think from TCU fans about. I don't think he's still there anymore. The president of Ohio State making the comment about teams like TCU playing the Sisters of the Poor, I think was the comment that he made back in 2011, and TCU was kind of one of those that he threw in there, and they, I think that when TCU won the Rose Bowl, there were some fans that put up billboards around Columbus. I don't know if they beat Ohio State in that or if they just won the Rose Bowl there. I'll have to go back and look at that, but I know that there was a story about that came out this morning that folks finally admitted who did that. All right, interesting line here. Boise State goes to Oklahoma State. Boise's ranked higher at number 17, Oklahoma State number 24. But this is also Mountain West team going to play a Big 12 team in a true road game, going to Stillwater to play this. 2 points going to Oklahoma State. And that's kind of surprising for Boise. Boise doesn't necessarily play the true road games. They do the thing where they go play, in Atlanta or I think they played Virginia Tech in D.C. one year. And so, I mean, it's a little bit different than that. So having to go in and play the Cowboys there, this is, I feel like, kind of an intriguing matchup here to see what we get out of it. So, Jake, who do you like?
Well, before I get to this pick, I would just want to take a quick little detour. I just want to send out a congrats to Herm Edwards. After his win over the 15th ranked Michigan, they just jumped into the top 25, and they're going to be ranked number 23 right now. So I hope they continue to have a great season. I just want to go on record. I predicted that. Tim came along with me, so that's awesome. In this game, though, I'm going to.
I think Manny went with you guys as well. So.
That's all right. That's all right. In this game, though, I still like Boise. Oklahoma State is the slight favorite, which I was kind of shocked at, to be honest with you. And Boise State's just, they've been a pretty good program. I think they've been underserved in some of the things that they've done. So they're ranked number 17 as of right now. I think that ranking is more true and more accurate than the line suggests. So I'm going to take Boise on this one.
Yeah, this is, again, it's unusual for Boise to, and I know they've tried more in recent years to go and play, these true road games and give themselves some challenges. That's I think the big question for me with Boise is how they react to that. They've beaten Connecticut, they've beaten Troy, they put up a ton of points against them. Oklahoma State by no means has seen any type of significant competition yet against Missouri State and South Alabama. So again, it's similar to the TCU Ohio State game. I don't know if we've really seen enough or them against a good opponent to get a real feel of who's the better side here. I'm going to go Cowboys at home. I think it's a toss-up game. I'm going to go Oklahoma State. Manny?
Yeah. First one to 60 wins this one.
Probably.
That's all I could say. But it is, I'm going to go Cowboys in their place, Oklahoma State.
All right. Richard?
Yeah, I don't see Boise going into Oklahoma and beating them. I'm going Oklahoma State.
Okay. Justin?
I'm going to go with Boise State on this one.
All right. Tim?
Stillwater, Eskimo Joe's, Mike Gundy and his mullet, but T. Boone Pickens separates it out for me because he put a lot of money into that play, so I'm going with the Cowboys. Might be the only time I say that today.
Yes. He put a lot of money to a lot of things, I think, on the Stillwater campus there. So, one game, and we'll talk about it here a little bit. New Mexico taking on New Mexico State. Not on our pick sheet for this week because, I don't know, I just forgot to put it on there, to be fair. I think New Mexico's getting 5 on the road. That was the line.
I saw 4, but
4.
whatever.
Yeah, fair enough. And again, the question mark is what we'll see from New Mexico State if they can rebound after giving up 60 on the road to Utah State. New Mexico hung in with Wisconsin there for a little while last week on the road. It was very, very surprising. So not sure not sure what to expect. We'll see what the quarterback situation is like there, so be kind of curious.
You guys will have this on the radio, won't you?
Yep. That'll be on Saturday night, so you guys can listen to it here on ESPN Alamogordo. Manny, just for fun, who would you take, New Mexico or New Mexico State?
Oh, man. I got my 2 nephews at main campus. I'm going New Mexico State.
Oh, yeah. Richard, you got a...
Yeah, New Mexico State.
Does anybody really win this game is the question.
Right.
Justin?
I'm going to go with my hometown, New Mexico State.
All right. Tim?
I'd go with the Lobos.
Yeah. Jake, you got a guess on there on with New Mexico or New Mexico State?
I really don't.
No? Okay. That's fair.
He literally just passed.
Yeah.
It's like, nah. Keep moving.
I will listen to the game.
Yeah. I think it's a toss-up, and I'll tell you right now, if New Mexico State's defense played anything like they have the last couple of weeks, New Mexico's going to run the ball down their throat. So,
and I may drive over. I'm thinking about it.
There you go. It's it's one of the fun. Unfortunately, last year was a little bit better for New Mexico State, but this is one of the fun environments to go to at Aggie Memorial because there usually is a good crowd there, and the Lobos fans travel, and the NMSU fans show up for it. So. It should be fun.
But NMSU did get to their first bowl game in how many years last?
Since 1960, so what was that, 67 years?
This is a while ago. Okay,
Yeah.
So I take it back. I'll go NMSU.
All right. I want NMSU to win, but I just they're not looking good, and I'll tell you what, the quarterback situation there at NMSU is bleak at the moment. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. More of the KNMZ Football Roundtable after this.
Hi, my name is Jake Roberts, and I'm a realtor with Coldwell Bankers Southern Nelson. Are you looking for your dream home, or are you looking to sell your property and need the guidance to get noticed? I can help you with professional real estate services today. Call me at 575-446-8574 or email me at jake@nmvistas.com. To view a list of our inventory, visit our website at alamogordo-coldwellbanker.com or visit us at 800 Scenic Drive in Alamogordo.
If you and your family are looking for a new home, you don't have to look far for a home mortgage. As a community bank, we not only have great rates, we offer you friendly financial service right here in the neighborhood. There are a lot of options in real estate lending. We're here to see that you get a loan you can live with. Talk to us about your home mortgage. We're an equal housing lender. First National Bank, member FDIC. When you grow, we grow.
At Charles Garland and Harris Insurance, we are proud of the great high schools in Alamogordo, Cloudcroft, Mescalero, and Tularosa. Our student athletes set a valuable example for everyone to follow. They work hard to succeed in the classroom and in competitive sports and contribute enormous time and energy to bring pride to their schools and community. At Charles Garland and Harris Insurance, as we work hard to protect the families and businesses of Otero County, we proudly take pause to follow our student athletes and extend our best wishes for their success every day in the classroom and on game day.
Hi, I'm Pastor Tim Brock, and I'd like to invite you to Christ Community Church, a place to belong, a place to come together, and a place to leave inspired. We have dynamic worship, engaging and relevant Bible teaching, and excellent ministries for everyone in the family. Our worship services are Sundays at 9 and 11:15. Christ Community Church, where it's about relationship, not religion, and where Jesus Christ is Lord. For more information, find us online at christcommunityalamo.org.
There are no roadblocks scheduled today on either Highway 70 or 54 South. For the latest roadblock information, call 575-678-1178.
This is Brandon with Desert Sun. I'm not sure if you all know this, but Desert Sun Auto Group consists of 5 dealerships across the great state of New Mexico. This means we have 5 new car departments with over 500 vehicles to choose from and over 200 quality pre-owned vehicles. Majority of these vehicles, when bought from us, are backed with Desert Sun's lifetime powertrain protection. Stop by either Desert Sun Motors or Desert Sun Toyota today and let us help you find your new ride. See our full inventory at DesertSunMotors.com.
Today's forecast is calling for mostly sunny skies, mostly clear tonight, slight chance of mountain rain showers in Alamogordo, high of 92, low of 64, Cloudcroft, high of 74, and an overnight low of 46. For tomorrow, continue mostly sunny skies, slight chance of rain in Alamogordo tomorrow, high of 90, low of 63, Cloudcroft tomorrow, high of 72, overnight low of 49.
You're listening to ESPN Alamogordo 103.7. Welcome back to the KNMZ Football Roundtable. Moving on to our pro picks for this week. As Manny did mention, by the way, you can listen to NMSU UNM. I believe it's 5 o'clock pregame, 6 o'clock kickoff coming up tomorrow night. All right, and I think we also have the Oklahoma-Iowa State game on early in the day if you want to tune into that. Giants going to Dallas, take on the Cowboys. Cowboys getting 3. Neither of these teams really have much to write home about after week 1. Giants, against a very good defense, struggled. Saquon Barkley had a couple of breakout moments. That was exciting to see. That was the highlight for them. For the Cowboys, Tim, really no highlights from last week, right? No? No.
No.
But you know what? Regardless of how poorly they played, they were in that game the whole way, so the defense at least gave them a shot. So these are 2 pretty average teams right now, and the question is who's going to make a difference here this week. Tim?
Yeah, you'd hate to think that a week 2 matchup is crucial to finding out if you should already be moving on to spring training baseball in your mind as a fan, but that's what we have here, because if Dallas loses, goes 0-2, man, it's going to be sad. I kind of think they will lose, but I'm going to pick the Cowboys.
All right.
That's all I got.
I think Dallas is going to win. They lost against a fairly decent Carolina team, and Carolina's been pretty good with their defense. I'd like to see what their offense is going to do. Obviously, it was a little bit more sluggish, even though Norv Turner was in there. But like I said, it was a good game. I can't really fault Dallas too much on that one. I'm gonna take them Dallas though. They're gonna bounce back at home.
I like the way the Giants ran the ball last week. You know, Barkley had the big run, and then for the most part, there wasn't a whole lot there. I think Eli will have a good game. He usually plays well at Dallas. I'm going to go Giants on the road. Manny?
Cowboys will get their receivers in business this week. I'm going Dallas at home.
Yay.
Richard?
Who cares?
Fair enough.
I'm going Dallas because that's who Brian picked.
And he doesn't, and Richard doesn't care.
Yeah. He will not be tuning into this game, is what he's saying. Justin?
I'm going to go with the Giants. It was pretty fun watching Saquon Barkley break that one off last week. They've got Odell back.
Yep. And Beckham had a good game last week.
He did. And that Dallas offense just looks stagnant. And I think New York goes in there and pulls it off.
All right, Denver hosting the Oakland Raiders, who Manny specifically brought in the USA Today section that had Carr, coach, picked apart. Him and John Gruden and Derek Carr obviously not in cohesion, not copacetic, to say the least. So, and Denver's getting 6 at home. I'll tell you what, Case Keenum makes a world of difference for Denver. They turned the ball over 3 times and still managed to win the football game against Seattle last week. Seattle's defense clearly not what they once were. That's going to be a tough one for sure. Manny?
Yeah, both quarterbacks throw 3 interceptions. Terrible.
One team wins and the other team does
Terrible.
not.
And what I hated most about this game was the late game. It started at 8:20. You know, normally I'm lights out by 9:30, so I'm sitting up till 11:35 watching this painful game. But listen, the Raiders always take the hard way. They don't ever do anything the easy way. You've already seen it. But it's Oakland, and it's AFC West. They're going to Denver. I'm going to go with the Raiders.
All right. Richard?
Well, I agree that Oakland always takes the hard road. I think the road is going to continue to be hard and bumpy.
And even if it's not, they'll find a way to make it harder.
Yeah. I think Denver wins this at home.
All right. Justin?
As much as I want to pick the Raiders, I think that Denver probably comes out on top on this one.
All right. Tim?
Well, I picked Seattle last week to beat Denver in Denver. I failed to consider Von Miller's presence, so I'm going to not do that this week, and I'm going to go with Von Miller.
Sounds like
So Denver. Yeah, Denver.
Yeah, Denver. All right. Jake?
You know, last week I did mention that I thought there were going to be some issues with the locker room between Gruden and some of the players, and I don't think those are going to resolve themselves after 1 week. After that second half where they just got picked apart, you could tell that there was a huge communication loss. I think Oakland's still got a ways to put it back together, so I'm going to take Denver.
I like Denver at their place. I thought Case Keenum recovered nicely. He needs to avoid turning the ball over as much as he did last week, but Tim's right, and that's something I didn't mention at the top is, Von Miller and his incredible game last week. The Denver defense still looks pretty darn good. Just some question marks in Oakland. I think they can win this game. I think offensively with Cooper and Cook and Lynch and that whole group and Carr, if they have a great game, there's no doubt to me that they can go into Denver and win it. But the question is which team shows up, and if there is strife inside there, that's going to be something that we're gonna see a lot throughout the season with Oakland. So we'll find out. But I'm going to go with the Broncos at home. I don't really want to talk about this next game. The Chargers go to the Bills. Chargers just put themselves in too big of a hole against the Chiefs last week, but you can still tell they've got offensive firepower with Rivers, and if his wide receivers would catch the dang ball, then maybe they would have won last week. The Bills are awful. Everything I said last week, disregard. I came in on Monday and basically, I didn't think the Bills were as bad as everybody were making them out to be. There's a fair chance that they are worse than a lot of people were making them out to be, and everybody said that they were the worst team in the NFL. They're the worst team in the NFL with like 5 miles of what on top of them, and then there's the Bills. So Chargers getting 7.5 on the road. I'm going Chargers. I will not pick the Bills until I see them, score a legitimate touchdown.
For the record, Charles has also misplaced his Bills hat. It's no longer being worn. He's locked that away in a closet somewhere. So.
You know what? I'll wear that all the time. But it's usually whichever hat I find as I'm reaching for the door at 5:30 in the morning.
And you buried the Bills hat low.
Probably. It's probably
so
like somewhere.
He doesn't even know where it is.
Yeah.
I know where it is.
All right, Manny.
Los Angeles Superchargers.
Yeah. Richard.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a no-brainer.
Justin.
Chargers.
Tim.
Well, you do need to keep in mind that it is a long road trip. This could be a game that Buffalo changes our feelings. It's the NFL. 1 week to the next, you never know.
Very true.
But I do want to quote our boy Jake Roberts, who started the program today by saying he's going to do his best to throw some picks around, which I thought was ironic, doing his best Nathan Peterman impression. But at least Nathan Peterman's not playing.
That's nice. Jake.
That was the best I got.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I
So who'd
like
he
being
pick?
quoted. That's awesome.
Oh,
That's
Chargers.
Chargers, yeah.
I don't even know if we needed to say that.
No, I don't think we do. I think we're all taking the Chargers on this one.
Yep. All right. New England goes to Jacksonville. Jacksonville getting a point. I mean, home field, they should probably be getting 3, but clearly some respect be given to Jacksonville. I still think if the Jags just gone out there and got I think if they'd gone out and got like a Case Keenum, it would have made such a huge difference for them this year. Just Blake Bortles is such an enigma. They've got, I think, everything else they need to be successful except quarterback. And I know they're missing one of their top wide receivers, but you'll see with New England. New England wasn't spectacular last week against Houston. The defense played pretty well, but for a game that they really shut down Deshaun Watson, they only won by 7. So I don't think either team came off an especially great performance last week. Jake?
This one I think is going to be a tough game. They're split right down the middle. I think this is where Bill Belichick sometimes kind of hurts himself by not necessarily playing the starters so much in the preseason. So I know it's going to be a little bit tough. This is also a rematch of the AFC Championship game, so I know Jacksonville is going to come in here with a vengeance. They're going to want to take a win, but I'm going to trust Belichick and Brady. I think New England takes this one.
Oh, Jags at home. I think just kind of throwing it out there. I don't think. I think it's a toss-up kind of game. I think the Jags defense could really be the difference in this one, and Brady obviously could tear them apart. There's no doubt about that. But I'm going to go with the Jags defense at home that they'll make it happen. Manny?
If the Jaguars will get off the ball and get off the blocks, put some pressure on Brady, they can win this game at home. I'm going Jags. I'm going Jags.
It is. Richard?
Well, I think they will get off the ball, will get off the blocks, and will put some pressure on Brady and win the football game.
All right. Richard likes the Jags. This is going more the Jacksonville way than I thought it was going to. Justin?
Yeah, I have. I've bet against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick too many times. And with Leonard Fournette being hurt, I don't know if he's in the lineup this week or not, but I'm going to go with...
Say it.
New England.
I will say I think T.J. Yeldon can fill in nicely for Fournette. He's not the same caliber, but we forget how good T.J. Yeldon is sometimes.
And from what I understand, Leonard is probable for the game, so he probably will play. But on the other side, New England, they had a plethora of running backs, and now they are down to I don't even know. Deion Lewis, I think, is the only healthy running back they have.
Deion's not there anymore. I think he's in Tennessee.
Rex Burkhead?
Rex Burkhead has a concussion. Sonny Michael Michelle, or however they say it, is
from Georgia.
Hurt.
Yeah.
They cut Gillespie or whatever. Anyway, I was just reading that. They got nobody, anybody.
They haven't had anybody at running back for the last 10 years.
It's true. That's not wide receiver and running back has always been a weird deal for New England.
But what they do have, yes, you're right. What they do have is Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and Gronk. I'm going to be pulling hard for Jacksonville, but the consolation is I'm going to pick New England in case they do win. Then I won't feel quite as bad about it.
Sounds like a plan. All right, Indy goes to Washington. Washington getting 5.5. Alex Smith and the group looked really good last week. I thought Andrew Luck looked really solid in his first week back playing a game in almost 2 years for the Colts. So by no means did he have a bad game. I think this will be a fun one to watch. And it worked out well that Justin is also a Colts fan, so filling in for Brandon. Justin, who you like?
Well, I'm biased.
Yes. I know who you like. Who are you going to pick, maybe I should say?
Absolutely.
This could be a shocker.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with my Colts.
All right.